Roadside sheep grazing. It's April 10th and I thought it was about time that we take a look at our sheep flock. So where they are right now is late pregnancy. You can see they've been sheared, their bellies are getting big, some of them are starting to bag out with their udders. We're going to be looking for lambs within 2 to 3 weeks here. So, number one question is, why am I grazing roadsides rather than my pastures? Answer for that is that the pastures are just starting to put on a little bit of growth, but it's a really, really great tip to keep your sheep off of your pastures when they're first growing. Because if they're in there continuously and nipping everything as it grows, you're going to get a lot less grass at the end of the day. They're going to damage those pastures. So I actually have them spending most of their day in a pen off of their pastures. So the question might be, what are they eating when they're in the pen? What I'm feeding them in the pen is I'm feeding one 2-string small hay bale a day for 10 sheep. So it's about a 50-pound bale of grass alfalfa mix per 10 sheep. And that's actually a pretty good rule of thumb. If you're new to sheep and you have no idea what to feed them, if they probably need less than that if they're not gestating, but in late gestation, if you're dropping down, one good small bale of hay per 10 sheep, they're probably going to be all right. It's going to depend on your hay and the size of your sheep, and you're going to have to use your judgment. But if you're just totally lost on how much hay to feed sheep when they're not grazing, throw a bale in for every 10 of them as a starting point. That's not quite as much feed as they want. And also there's a lack of exercise when they're penned up. So we enjoy getting them out in the evenings to relax and let them graze along these roadsides. They're eating grown-up weeds and grass, mostly that grew last year, along with the first green sprouts of the New Year's weeds. And it's a really, really good supplement for them. And one of the huge strong points of sheep that people don't think about is that if you have the time and the inclination, once you're accustomed to them, they're very easy to handle, and you actually can just herd them into overgrown areas and turn some of that undesirable plant material into your product.